Hi, this is Miss Andrea. I work for the Children's Museum of Houston Science Workshop Program, and I'm bringing you a project today courtesy of the Harris County Department of Education Case for Kids City Connections Grant, which is funded by the City of Houston. And the project I'm bringing today is a third project for ideas for gifts for Mother's Day. So today's project I really like. It's one that I've been trying to do before, and I never quite had as good a results as I did with this one. And so I want to share that with you. Let me just show you real quick. It's about doing, this is called metal embossing. But basically what it is that you're going to go through and you're going to raise the surface of this aluminum. And here's another example. I used a little bit of stuff on that. So when I tried this, I'm going to go over some of the issues that I had with it. The reason I have two is because I went a little crazy on the first one I did. So you might even like do one that's just a practice one, just to kind of see the effects that you can get, because you might get like Miss Andrea putting a little too much and then just going wild with it. So we'll go through the process of this. The first thing you need to do is you need to get a soda can, and I just have a small soda can. If you have a bigger soda can, you can make a bigger project, but I kind of like the small size. So the first thing you're going to do is you need an adult to help you. You're going to take a box cutter and you're going to cut a little slit into this soda can, and then you're going to use your scissors and you're going to cut all the way around. So I started cutting around earlier, but I didn't want you to be on camera having to wait for me to cut this all. So you cut the top off, then you cut a slit, and you cut the bottom off. You got to be really careful. In fact, I would suggest, if you have them, to wear gloves. That way that you don't get cut by these little sharp edges. So to get rid of the little sharp edges, what you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to cut off those sharp edges. Just slice it off here. Slice it off here. And that really should take care of it. If you have some sandpaper, you can sandpaper a little bit the edges. But it's really not necessary. Or you can take it and rub it a little bit on the concrete. And that will also take off your rough edges. But I was handling this stuff all day yesterday, and I didn't have any problems where I cut myself, except a little bit on the corners. So on the corners it is a little bit sharp, and sometimes I'd poke myself, but it doesn't really cut me, it just kind of hurt. So parents, if you're helping your child with this project, my suggestion is to put tape along the edges while you're working on it, so that there is no chance of that. So you can put a little bit of tape just on the very edges, and that'll take away any of that danger. So you see, this is much bigger than what I need. So I could have one for a practice. I just went through and cut it right down the middle. And it's kind of curvy. So what I did was I took it and I rolled it. Try not to bend it, because if you bend it, you're going to end up with a line, and that's going to affect when you're trying to make this. So try to roll it, try to make it roll, and to the opposite direction like that. And just a little bit like that will usually do it. So when you're doing this, my suggestion to you is to do a design. And do a design on paper, make sure it's about the same size. And then there's two things to consider when you're doing your design. One is, when you do this, you have to do it on the opposite side. So your drawing's going to be on this side. If your drawing's on this side, then that means your letters have to be backwards. And if you don't do it backwards, what happens is it turns out backwards on this side. How do I know? Because I did that yesterday. I did it, and it's a waste of time. And I was just heartbroken because I'm like, oh, I messed up a whole sheet. So if you can't write backwards, look in the mirror and do your drawing like that. Do your writing like that. Just remember, if you want your heart on this side, then you have to do it on the opposite side. Everything has to be on the opposite, because that's how it's going to show up on your work. So tape this down. I put a little bit of tape on mine. Remember, don't do it on the shiny side. And the reason to tape it down is because if you don't, once you start working on it and you turn it around and say, oh, I want to do more, if you didn't tape it, it's hard to find that spot that you were at again. So put a little tape on all the edges so that it doesn't move. Again, you're doing on this side. So what do you use? What do you use to do this? There's actually if you go to the stores, like the hobby stores and stuff, this stuff is really expensive. The sheets to do the metal embossing is really expensive. So first of all, we have such a nice product, and we didn't use all the expensive metal embossing sheets of metal that you buy. They also have tools that you can use to do all this kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you on the cheap. Their stuff will look just as nice. What you can use. So one of the things you can use is scissors, but the thing about this is, you see how thin this is? It's really easy to cut it. So make sure if you're using scissors that they're very blunted, or that you're being careful not to push all the way down. If you push all the way down, you're going to break it through. So practice a little bit. Make sure that you're doing a good job of being careful not to go all the way through. You can use a nail, but a nail again is very sharp. And so what I would do is take that nail and go to some concrete like the sidewalk and kind of hit it a little bit, and that will blunt it so that it's not so sharp. You can also rub it on the concrete like that and see if you can get it to be a little bit more dull, and then just don't put so much pressure on it. You can also use the other end of the nail. You can also use pen. Pencil won't work as well. Ballpoint pen is one of the best things that you can use. And don't worry about this side because nobody's going to see it. This is kind of sharp, so I use this part of it. Look around and see what would work. Something that's metal and blunted, like this really weird, this is not mine, gold fingernail clippers have a nice blunted edge that you can use. Also on the other side, this is especially good for the large areas. But I didn't use any of those things. I did try them out to make sure that they would work for you. So on this one, I did use a lot of this stuff just to make sure that I'm not telling you that you can use this and then it doesn't really work. It works. But luckily I have these knitting needles. I don't knit, but my mom had these, and so I was able to use those. And then this is, I think, for crocheting. And this turned out to be the best tool for me. It was really nice and blunted. It had a large area. I was able to do a lot of the hard with this. And so this is the tool that I used. So the first thing you need to do after you tape it on and you've got your letters on there is, I'm going to tell you, you need to have something. You can't do this on a hard surface. You have to do it on a spongy surface. So I use cardboard. If you have foam paper, thick foam paper, then you can use that. That works really, really well. But the cardboard worked just fine. So you tape it on all sides, and then what I did was I used my tool, my big tool, and I went over everything, outlined everything one time, and I can tell you when you turn it over, it's going to look like it didn't do much. It will look like that. You have to put the work in it, excuse me. You have to put the effort, and you have to kind of push down, push down, push down, and you'll use this tool to make it stick out, and then once you're really popped out, like the way that this, I don't know if you can really see that, but this is really nice and popped out. And one of the ways that I did that was I used this tool, and like for large areas like this, what I did was I went through and did like a pattern. If you go willy-nilly, then you're going to end up with willy-nilly. And if you like willy-nilly, that's okay, but most people don't. So you're doing this, and then what I did was I kept going over it and over it and over it, but make sure you don't press too hard because then you'll end up breaking it. And so I did this, and you have to keep doing it and keep doing it. I tell you, your hand is going to hurt from continuously doing this. I tried different things. I tried the pen. Whatever is going to work for you, you just keep checking it. You like it, you don't like it, keep working on it. Your hand will eventually hurt. It will. You have to apply a lot of pressure to it. So if that happens, leave it. Go drink a soda or water, and go watch some TV, or go outside, or do something else, and then come back to it. If your hand starts to hurt and you start getting frustrated with it, leave it. Come back to it. I had several projects going on at one time while I was waiting for things to dry. So I would work on this for a little bit. I would go work on something else, and I'd come back and work on it some more. So what I did was push, 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 and then I would come through, and I guess let me show you. I'll give you an example of with the art. I went through, and I don't have mine taped on, so it's not good. But you kind of see how it's not very popped out. It's definitely not popped out like this. But that's because you're going to have to keep working it. And what I did was, I did like a pattern where I just kept going. And I came back and did this way, And I just kept doing it, and you can see where it starts to raise a little bit more. You just have to keep coming back, and it's possible because I did it. It just takes a lot of work. So I pushed hard down, get my nice edge. And you see where it starts to come up a little bit. So you just have to keep working it. I went through and I put, I believe, to get my nice, and unfortunately my paper's going to tear because this is the one I used yesterday, so it's already been stressed out a lot. But you just have to keep doing it. I know you don't believe me with that. You're like, Miss Andrea, I don't see it happening. It's because I went over it and over it and over it and over it, and I kept working it and working it and working it and working it. And that's what you have to do. You have to put a little bit of effort in. But if you really want something nice, you just have to do it. So when I started coming over here, actually I used this one, and now you kind of start seeing that, right? Can you see that? You're starting to see where it's popped out a little bit more. I don't know if you can tell that much on camera, but there's a huge difference between this and that. So you just have to keep doing it. Work this side, and come back, and work this side. And you start to get this nice popped out feel to it. So once you get this all done, once you're happy with where it's at, what I did a couple of different things. One, I have tissue paper. You see tissue paper in a lot of my projects. Why? Because it's what I have. It's nice and bright. I took a piece of cardboard and I cut it larger than the size of the tin, and then I covered it with glue and put the tissue paper, and then I let it dry. Then I came back and put the tin on it. Now, if you have hot glue gun, use your hot glue gun. Trust me, this is a lot of work if you're doing it with glue. But I did almost everything that I've done with Elmer's glue. Why? Because it's cheap and you can easily get a hold of it. I have hot glue gun, but I used the glue because I wanted to make sure that whatever I'm doing and saying that you can use, you can actually do. Now, I was skeptical about the metal sticking to the cardboard with just glue. So what I did was I got clothespins, and when I put the glue on, I went through, and these kind of remind me of the clamps that I use for wood. When I have two pieces of wood that I glue together, I put a clamp on it. Well, these are my clamps for this. And I went through and put this all over once I put the glue on so that it would make sure to stick. And you can see some places where it's not sticking as well. You can just go put more glue in there and put a clip on. And I went all the way around with that. So these are really great to have. I've used them in several projects where I want two pieces of things to glue together, and I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to. So once I got that on, I decided on my border. You can do just about anything for a border. I happen to have really colorful yarn that was in there also. And so I took a strip of yarn, I put glue, and then I put my yarn, and then I waited for it to dry. And then once it was dry enough, I went to the next side and I glued. But you can use just about anything. The other thing you can do is cut a little piece of cardboard. I'm going to show you real quick. Make sure to get an adult to help you with this because you will need a box cutter. If you cut a little piece of cardboard and you score it, and what does score mean? When I use the box cutter, I cut it all the way through. When you score something, you're only cutting part way. You don't cut the whole way. You're only cutting halfway, because you want it to still be attached. And you can create something like that. If you glue this at the back, then now you have where it will actually stay up by itself. So you can actually make something that's like a photo frame or something like that. The other thing I did was I saw this, I had bought this plastic silverware, and I liked the blue on it, so I kept it. And it turns out that it's really nice. Also, I played around a little bit with glitter, but I kind of don't like the glitter. I kind of like it the way that it is like that. But I used the blue from that silverware setting, and all you have to do is put some more cardboard on the back, and you can make a nice little frame for it. I like the color of it, so that's another possibility. There's all kinds of stuff that you could do with it. If you have a nice piece of wood, this would look really nice on a nice piece of wood, maybe stained dark. So you can use that. So again, it's what you have. I do it on the low end. If you have beads, then use beads. If you have gems, for all my projects, you can use more stuff than what I show you. I always do it on low end because I want to make sure that people that don't have, that they have an opportunity to be able to do something, and they can see that you don't have to have the most expensive stuff from the hobby store to make nice art. So this is another nice Mother's Day gift idea. I hope you like it. Be careful when you're using this stuff. And this is a good one, again, for male and female. So if your mom is actually your dad, then this would be a nice one to make for him. But don't say love you mom, say love you dad. I will see you on the next video. Bye.